Hello and welcome to Urban Sports Beat. I'm your host, Troy Hackley. There is a standard of excellence at St. Francis Academy for producing outstanding women basketball players. From Angel Reese, Nia Clouden, and Mia Davis, just to name a few. Well, that tradition continues with senior point guard Anaya Gordine.
Anaya, talk about being the leader of your team this season.
This season was difficult, of course, because of COVID, but it all started in practice. And with Coach Shelton not coaching us, I knew I really had to step up even more. Mm-hmm. So I just told everybody to have confidence in themselves. Don't be afraid to be them and just play.
Okay. I mean, now that you mentioned COVID, what was the experience of playing this season during the coronavirus? What was the big change that took place?
It was very difficult because my family, they like to support me a lot. My sisters, my mom, my dad, everybody, They like to support me a lot. And with COVID, I only had limited people that could come.
Okay.
Sometimes, too, a senior night, that was the most we could have, so I was glad everybody could come. But it was difficult with my family not being able to come see me play, especially with it being my senior year.
Yeah. What was it like to play in facilities and nobody was there, but just y'all?
It was difficult because, you know, when we play here, the gym is packed.
Right.
So that was very different. Like, I'm used to, especially the big games, McDonough, Pilates, games like that, I'm used to having a big crowd, and it was just different because there was nobody there. Like, it felt like practice.
Okay. Now, you've played with some of the top players in the country on your team. Mm-hmm. You've played with Nia Clouden, that's at Michigan State. Angel Reese, that's at the University of Maryland. Now, you didn't play with Mia Davis, but she's at Temple, and you will be playing with her next year. Mm-hmm. What is the experience like playing with those top players, and what you learned from them? What did you learn from them?
First, Nia, I thought she was very quiet because she went to middle school with my sisters. So I thought she was real quiet, but when I got to the school, it took her a little minute to open up, but when she opened up, she taught me a lot. Like, she doesn't show emotion a lot when she plays.
Okay.
And I learned a lot from that because when you play like that, you don't give refs like the opportunity to judge you or she's there, so boom. Because you know, the refs, they always really don't like us, so I learned a lot from not showing so much emotion from her. You know, Angel, I've been playing with her since I was 8 years old, so it's not really new with her, but she's a great teammate. Like, she's one of the teammates that she's gonna push you to be the best you can be.
Okay.
And it's always good to have somebody with her talent. It's always good to have that right next to you. So I do miss playing with her. Even when she's not in the game, she's the loudest one on the bench. I love playing with her.
Now, you didn't play with Mia Davis at St. Francis, but you will be playing with her next season. Mm-hmm. Have you talked with her? Was she involved in your decision making?
No, I didn't know that she knew, but Coach Mack told her. I don't know why, but I didn't know she knew. But we pretty close because her, Nia, and Angel were close, so we hung out and stuff. Like, we're pretty close, but I'm really looking forward to playing with her.
Okay, now, there were a lot of schools that recruited you. Why did you pick Temple?
It's close. Like, I didn't want to stay here, but I also didn't want to go too far. I had 3 little brothers and 1 on the way.
Okay.
I don't want to go too far where they can't come to my game, or it's hard for me to see them or have a relationship with them.
Okay.
So I want my family to be able to come see me play whenever, like every game if they can. And my mom, she's afraid of bridges, so I had to take that in consideration. There's no bridge to get to Philly.
Okay. Now, Coach Jerome Shelton is a highly regarded coach. He's done great things at St. Francis and won a lot of titles and championships over the years. You got a chance to play for him for 3 or 4 years?
4.
4 years. Coach Nike Burrell and Coach Johnny Mack are an integral part of his program. Talk about playing for them and what they taught you young ladies over the years that you're going to take with you.
Coach Shelton, I could start he been recruiting me since middle school. So when he was recruiting me, I just thought he was the nicest person. I didn't think he was gonna be who he is. My first practice, it was hard.
Okay.
I thought after my first practice, I'm like, oh, he mean, but I seen the bigger picture. My first practice, he was real hard on me. And it taught me a lot because he taught me responsibility and accountability. End of the game, my freshman year, I remember playing McDonough, and I was in, and Angel got the ball, and he screamed at me for 3, he was hot, he screamed at me for so long, because he's like, you go get the ball. He taught me a lot of accountability, and he taught me to be a better point guard, how to facilitate more, how to just take the lead more.
Okay. And talk about your girl, Nike. Nike is a coach, but she y'all girl too, so y'all have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
What was it like playing under her leadership as well?
I love Coach Nike. If you ask anybody, they'll tell you how much I love her. I stay under her. She is one of those coaches who is more than coaching, it's more than basketball. She's gonna be on you on the school side. If you having problems with anything else, she just always there. I love playing with her.
Now, Coach Mack always looks intense.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about Coach Johnny Mack and what kind of coach he is, what kind of person he is.
Coach Mack is one of those coaches, like you said, intense. People only see the intense side, but his intention is good. For my previous years, when girls didn't have scholarships or anything, he always pulled through for them. He always got them a scholarship, and he always just talked good on St. Francis. He just always supports St. Francis. Mm-hmm. So I think people don't really see that side, because they just see the so intense side.
Right. Like that competitive spirit.
Yeah.
When y'all would play against some of the top schools, do you get nervous? Are you relaxed? What kind of feelings do you have in the big games?
I'm relaxed because I don't like to be too nervous or think more than what it is. I'm just relaxed, just play my game, just do what I did, and everything else will come.
Is it more pressure playing in front of family or friends or on the road against people you really don't know? What's better?
I like playing on the road.
Why?
Because the crowd against you, and it just feels good when you win, knowing the whole crowd against you. And it's just that faces after the game is priceless. When you go on the road, everybody expecting you to lose, they saying a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
And when you win, it's just I don't really need too much of a crowd. I like for my family to be there, but I don't really like people. I like to be the underdog. I like everybody want us to lose. So I just love that feeling. When everybody in the gym wants you to lose and you win, I love that feeling.
Urban Sports Beat, bringing you the hottest in youth sports. There is an estimate of 500,000 people are homeless in the United States. In Maryland alone, 980,000 people will be food insecure because of the coronavirus and its effects. The Baltimore Hunger Free Zone is the largest vegan free meal program in the nation. One of their goals is to feed 1,000 people each day in the Baltimore City community. The Hunger Free Zone is here to help the Baltimore community get back on its feet. Your role in the community has never been more important than at this critical time in history. Please reach out and help your neighbors today. For more information, visit www.hungerfreezone.org or call 202-812-9599.
We can talk, but money talk, so talk over.
This is a test.
This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Being named to Max Prep's All-American team and being named the National Freshman of the Year could put a lot of pressure on most. But for freshman forward Derek Queen, he takes it in stride because of his humble upbringing.
56. 56.
Derek, talk about playing at St. Francis this season. What kind of experience has it been playing during the pandemic?
It's been a real good experience. Play high level basketball, and yeah.
Now, recently, you were the prep player of the week for another station, Fox 45, and you scored 56 points in a game. What was that like? Now, I hear players talk about being in the zone. Don't touch me. Reggie Miller say, don't touch me while I'm hot like this. What was the experience like?
I mean, experience was good. Like at first it didn't feel real, then a couple days later it just hit me, and like I really did score 56 as a freshman.
Okay. And so then you were proclaimed the player of the week. What was that like? How have people been responding to the fact that you scored that many points and you were the prep player of the week?
People just keep asking me how I did it. Told them how I did it, and they asked me how I feel. I said, just feel regular.
So how tall are you?
6'8".
What schools have you been getting any offers?
I had 5 from Maryland, Georgetown, LSU, Arizona State. I just named 4, and Virginia Tech.
But you still got time. So by the time you're a senior, it's going to be more schools looking to recruit you.
Yeah.
Are you starting to feel some of the pressure of being considered a highly regarded high school basketball player?
No, it's no pressure. Just me hooping.
Okay. So what do you do? What can you do for St. Francis? You know their history and the legacy of winning here. How do you become a leader moving forward and being a leader for this team for the next 2 or 3 years?
Be vocal and break records.
Okay. Now, there will be a lot of young people coming behind you that are going to be highly regarded athletes. Talk about the importance of education.
It's very important because it's a low percent chance you get to the NBA or like overseas or the G League, because there's more people that's in front of you that's hungrier and things. So you just gotta work harder.
Talk about your long-term goals in the sport.
I want to make it to the NBA, and if that don't happen, I just want to go to law school, be a lawyer. But if I do make it to the NBA, I still want to go back to school, be a lawyer, and I still want to work in basketball.
Okay. Now, coming up, who did you look up to in the sport of basketball? Who did you admire? Who were your role models in the game?
I mean, I didn't have any, but my favorite players was just LeBron.
LeBron James? Why?
He just everything you need as a basketball player.
Now, coming behind this, players that come out of Baltimore, when I think of you now, I think of Carmelo Anthony coming out of Baltimore, representing Baltimore, and people feel a sense of gratitude when they talk about him being from Baltimore. Would you consider yourself to want to emulate that type of image where they talk of Derek Queen from Baltimore if you make it to a high-level college or to the NBA? Would you want to be regarded in that same light, like a Carmelo Anthony coming from Baltimore?
I just want to be a leader in my city and known in my city.
What kind of experience is it playing for Coach Nick Miles?
Good experience. He just let you rock and roll.
Well, Derek, we'll keep up with you. Good luck moving forward. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us, and definitely, I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Urban Sports Beat continues its tour of the youth football programs in Baltimore. Our next stop was the Cherry Hill Eagles.
Stop step, set! go. Let's go, get him. Stay there with him. Good job, good job, good job.
Raheem, tell us about the Cherry Hill Eagles.
The Cherry Hill Eagles, man, we solely in Cherry Hill, man. It's a community, man. We do a lot out here. Sports. We do book bag giveaway, Peace in the Street cookouts. We do a lot. So our program is just not about football. Football was the means to get the kids' attention so we can help them. I'm homegrown from the neighborhood, and I'm trying to give some of these kids opportunities that I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? My mentor did it for me.
Well, Raheem, you do a wonderful job out here in Cherry Hill, but you do a wonderful job because you are an intricate part of Baltimore City. And that's the goal, that we are all one. We appreciate you at Urban Sports Beat, and we will always come and check out what you're doing and keep in contact with you and your program in the future, because I know you're doing other great things. You're a businessman. You got a lot of things going on. You in boxing, so thank you, brother, and we appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
And we appreciate you, man, for going all over Baltimore City and acknowledging guys like us in the grassroots, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't get attention from a lot of people, you know what I mean? And not that we want it, because you've been in my cookouts and everything, thousands of people. I've never called the media not once, because what I do is out of heart. You just shows up. Right. So we appreciate you.
Get him out of there. Good job. Pump your feet. Thank you.
Urban Sports Beat, bringing you the hottest in youth sports. There is an estimate of 500,000 people are homeless in the United States. In Maryland alone, 980,000 people will be food insecure because of the coronavirus and its effects. The Baltimore Hunger Free Zone is the largest vegan free meal program in the nation. One of their goals is to feed 1,000 people each day in the Baltimore City community. The Hunger Free Zone is here to help the Baltimore community get back on its feet. Your role in the community has never been more important than at this critical time in history. Please reach out and help your neighbors today. For more information, visit www.hungerfreezone.org or call 202-812-9599.
Our final stop on our youth football tour was a stop at the Baltimore Terps youth football program. Derek, talk about young people getting the opportunity to get back out and get involved in sports coming off of this pandemic.
It's just a joy to have the kids back out on the field. You can see walking around the field, the kids are just so happy to be out here. And then Saturday we went down to Douglas High School and played a scrimmage game, and it was a wonderful game. A lot of kids just happy to be back outside and see some of their friends after a whole year off.
Now, we know the kids want to have fun playing football, but it's also competition. What age group do you believe has the opportunity to play for one of the local national championships or titles in your program?
Right now, I would say the 11U is the strongest.
Okay.
They have a lot of kids who've been together since 6U. And Saturday, they came out with a strong performance. Also, the 13 is always in competition because they're the bigger boys. So they're the two ages I see competing for championships this year.
Now, we always, on our show, Urban Sports Beat, we always talk about education. Talk about the importance of education for the young people.
Very important. It's student, then athlete. We have a couple guys, local high schools are looking at right now, going to some good schools, Calvert Hall, Poly City, Mount St. Joe. So that's always important. And I let them know, you never know who's watching, and you may be your big break that day.
Wow. As we go along in this process, youth football requires a lot of volunteers. Talk about the volunteers and their commitment to the young people.
It's all volunteers. We don't get paid for any of this. I don't have one child out here, and it's just the love for the game and the love for having these kids out here. And like you said, it takes a lot of volunteers. Parents, dads, teen moms, it just takes a lot to make all of this come together.
Now, talk a little bit about the director of the Baltimore Terps, Quasi, and his commitment to keep this program going. I know it's been lean years, but as we walk around today, I see an excellent turnout.
Yes, Coach K, he started the Terps in 2012. I was with another program at the time, and I met him, and I actually played the Terps in their first ever game. Okay, so he does a great job. So we offer not only football, lacrosse, and basketball. That's the reason why he's not out here, because lacrosse is practicing at the other facility. So he keeps everybody together, keeps everything organized, and as you can see walking around, the kids love to come out here for.
Talk about your love and your passion for young people.
I just like to be out here with the young people, giving back like my coaches give to me. And my coaches gave to me in high school and youth. That's what keeps me coming out here. And coming from where I come, I can give these guys my experiences in life and what football gave to me and gave me an opportunity.
Now, you said you were with another program. How long have you been with the Baltimore Terps?
With the Baltimore Terps, 7 years.
And a committed volunteer, head coach, mentor, psychiatric evaluator, and all those things.
Everything. You need all of them on your resume to be out here. And I just love being out here with the kids.
Well, I know Quasi always does a big food event. So you like a cook too?
Yeah, we always on the grill. We stay at the grill. You've been to our homecomings.
Yeah.
It's just with COVID this year, we're not able to do anything, any cooking or anything. But as soon as that get lifted, we'll be right back on it.
Well, Derek, man, thank you for your commitment to the young people. I see you out here coaching like y'all the Baltimore Ravens or something, you know, running the sets, making sure the young people be in the right position on the field. And we will definitely keep our eye on the Baltimore Terps. And thank you for your time, and thank you for your effort, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out and giving our program a look.
Coach, talk about young people having the opportunity to participate in sports again coming off of this pandemic.
Well, I think it's beautiful. Kids have been home for over 18 months, getting on parents' nerves, not burning any type of energy. This adds a little regularity to their life and helps them burn some of that energy that every kid needs to burn out. So, you know, you can see the liveliness in those kids out there, and you can see they're enjoying the moment, and they appreciate it even more because of, you know, the pandemic.
Now, you're an educator, so after you get off of a long day at the job, you come out here and volunteer to help these kids. Why?
Well, I think it's important. Instead of passing the buck to anybody else, if I can have a hand in something.
Talk about the importance of education for our young people.
I think education is the key. Everybody, it sounds cliche, but it's important because it gives them the tools and the ability to be able to get a job when they get out. You know, it provides critical thinking skills and things, you know, of that nature. So, you know, education is what will kind of drive these young people today. And especially on the football field, you can't get into a college without the grades, without SAT scores. So those things are very important. And if football is a carrot that drives them to get good grades, I'm all for it.
Now, Quasi has expanded the program from football, lacrosse, basketball, cheerleading. Talk about that responsibility a little bit.
Wow, well, the responsibility grows because now you're covering more young people. You have more time that you have to invest. Like it's a penalty in life if you run a speed, you know, a light, or you're speeding. So that's the foundation. It's first is discipline, then it's the processing of information. A lot of times you'll see students, when I was at a high school, I would see students sometimes going over their plays more than anything else. Okay. You know, on their off time. You know, so if they can attain that information and regurgitate it, it just makes that process a lot easier for them.
That's going to do it for this edition of Urban Sports Beat. And don't forget to check us out on our website, urbansportsbeat.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and IG. I want to take this time to thank my fine staff. Without their help, this show would not be possible. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.